Hi everyone, thanks for coming to Pot About with me today. I am going to be just showing you a cactus that I bought. It's just a flowering cactus which you can get, and it's normally a house plant in colder climates. This one particularly, I think it's referred to as either a Christmas cactus or a Thanksgiving cactus or an Easter cactus, but I'll just go through a couple of differences and maybe how to identify which one you have. So I've, at the moment, because it's January the 16th today, I've bought this one just yesterday from the local store, and it's got some blooms which are fading. It's got some blooms which are starting to shoot, of course. So here's one. I'll just try and maybe get a better angle of that. And I just like the color. I have had Christmas cactus before, and I grew them in a warmer climate where I stayed. At the moment, because I'm based in Scotland, it's just a sort of a different environment, so I'm also having to learn how the same plant will need to be cared for, obviously, in a colder climate. With this one particularly, so it's actually a Thanksgiving cactus, and the way you can sort of determine which one you have is the leaves are pointed, so just those leaves over there are quite pointed, whereas a Christmas cactus has rounded leaves. So it wouldn't be as pointed as that. It'll be like just a smoother surface, I guess. And the Easter cactus is the same. It has a rounded surface in terms of the leaf there, but the flowering period is round about, how do I say, springtime, I guess. So maybe March, April. Whereas a Thanksgiving cactus, the bloom time is round about November to December, and a Christmas cactus is December to January. So the bloom period does determine what the name of the plant is, but also just the shape of the leaf. I do believe I have that right, but if there are any corrections, just let me know, because as I say, I've only grown these as a hobby. So I just bought these from the grocery store. It was a local store that was selling it. As you can see, one of the leaves or part of the plant did fall off. So what I am going to do is I've got a little pot of soil that I will prepare it with. Normally you can propagate these quite easily. I'll just move that out of the way quickly so I can just show you this. So actually that's just been sitting on the pot, and I've not done anything to it, but it's already started shooting some leaves. So if you are going to try and propagate these, you can I always say try and get, because it seems to grow easier, one stalk and at least two split. That's just the way I do it. You don't have to have it that way. If you just get one piece which falls off, you can plant that too. But all I'm going to do is, it's already just even got a little flower, but because it's got those roots, I'm just going to make a tiny hole in this pot. And then maybe I'm just going to let it sit in there. I'll gently pat it down, but basically that's all I'm going to do, and that's how I'm going to leave it. What I will probably do is just give it a little bit of water. It's a tiny bit of water, just to get it in a moist environment, just to encourage the roots to grow. And because the soil was wet already on this part, it'll just sort of replicate the environment that the roots were shooting in. So nothing is drained out just yet. This wasn't pre-moistened soil as well, so I'm just going to add a bit of water, but I will leave it like that, and that's probably all the water I'm going to give it. I'll put it in just a tub. I'm not going to label it or anything, because to be honest, I only have one of these plants, so I'll know which one it is. Now, just back to this one, I am going to just clear up a little bit of the sides here, because as you can see, the soil it was pot in is sticking out. So I'll quickly do that, and then I will come back to show you what it looks like. So basically I have just gone to clear off the bottom, some of the soil which was growing off there, and that'll just make it a little bit easier for me to water, just so that the water doesn't run off completely. With this plant you have to keep a light soil mix just to allow the roots to breathe. So even rather than a plastic pot, this is just the original pot I bought it in, it might be better to use a terracotta pot, just something which is more absorbent. And then what you can also do with that is, with the terracotta pots, is they actually absorb some of the water as well, which helps this plant because it doesn't like to have wet roots. So I would maybe just feel the soil. If it is, like at the moment, this one is damp, so I'm not going to water it anytime soon. Just to bring the other one back, if you think if it needs some water, you can tell that it's like, this one is not plump at all. It's quite dry, and you can see the center, like I guess stem on it. If that's sort of exposed like that, as opposed to this, which is quite plump, and it just means that's got water, that needs water probably. So that's one way to tell if it's very dehydrated. The other way is just to feel. So if it is quite moist, you probably don't need to water it. Do let the soil dry out, because they don't like, as I say, just to have wet roots. They do want indirect sunlight as well, but I guess a bright room will always be beneficial. I've had these plants in direct sunlight. It can tend to discolor the leaves sometimes as well if it is too strong, but if it's just like a morning or a late afternoon sun, then I think it should be fine. It just depends sort of where you're growing it, of course, as well. But yeah, I just wanted to show you, I know I mostly have African violets, but just because I do want to get other types of house plants as well, I do like a variety of plants, so I'll start collecting them. And this flower is, I'm just going to take it off because it is quite worn out. I'm just going to remove those blooms, just because they are quite, how do I say, they're not very pretty at the moment. I'll just take off that one. It sort of was squashed in the packet, but the flowers will drop off as well just by themselves as they dry up, so if you want to wait for that to happen, you can do. Hopefully this one will keep on flowering. I'll keep an eye on it as it's quite new. I won't sort of mix it with any of my other plants as well, so it'll just be in a separate place, but very easy plant to keep and to grow. So hopefully the other one which I planted won't take too long. There it is there. Then I'll have 2 of them. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. Take care. Bye bye.